What is meditation? There are probably thousands of books in all libraries around the world that will speak extensively in order to give you all different kinds of answers to this question, what is meditation? I'm not going to go into any conflict with what has been written and with so many very competent teachers, masters in the past, present, all over the world that have helped people towards meditation. I would like just simply to give to you my personal integration and experience of what is meditation to me. What meditation has taught to me before it became meditation is that first you need to ask yourself, why do you want meditation? And if the answer to this simple question is touching to you, if you honestly feel that you got an answer, then you have the right motivation to approach what is the subject of meditation. So once you have cleared this question, why do I need meditation? Do I really want to meditate? The next step is then what I feel it is meditation. And to me, meditation is a journey. The journey of finding the answer to the question, who am I? Who is this one inside? Beyond all conditionings, beyond all expectations, beyond all identifications. Yes, who am I? Who is the one inside? And for that, I want you to recognize, just for better understanding, that there are meditation that I write with a capital M and meditations that I will write with a small m. The one I call meditation with a capital M is a quality that is inside of us. That's why you hear Master saying meditation will make you recognize who you are. Who you are in which way? In that quality. And then you will also hear Master saying, which is so much a fact, that you have experienced meditation many times in your life. But this quality that a mother experiences when gives a birth, or a lover experiences when it embraces its lover, or when you listen to your favorite music, or when you relax in your couch and watch your breathing, and so many other ways. Could be described, yes, this quality could be described as a list of classifications. Some will say it's total relaxation. Others will say it's to be present here and now. Others will say it's the absence of identifications. You will find in any simple book about this subject many simple descriptions of this quality that one day you yourself will explain it in your own words. That quality that, I say again, you have already experienced many times. You were born in meditation. If meditation is to be here and now, that's how you were born. And probably the very years of your life, you were frequently in meditation. So this quality, as we grow through different experiences and situations in life, gets forgotten. gets put in the back of our consciousness, becomes irrelevant in the priorities of our existence. And then one day, you start realizing that all that you have been giving value, all those belief systems that run your daily life and your life in general, don't fulfill all your needs as far as quality of life. As if something inside of you that you don't know where it comes from says, there is more about life. I deserve a better quality of life. Then your search starts. One day, you realize that this search actually, it's about something that is already inside of you. It's an inner search. And then you approach teachers, masters. All of them will give you techniques, what I call meditations written in a small m. Every master has developed techniques of meditation since the beginning of the times. It's not just now that it seems to be a subject that interests so many more people. No, since man exists on this planet, there has been the search for a better life. There's been a search for, directly or indirectly, know your true being, your true nature, the one inside. And along the times of life, different masters have developed techniques that may correspond more or less with the disciples, with the seekers of those particular times. I was blessed to meet Osho, who spoke to me about a very simple way of understanding the techniques of meditation. His simple approach that still I use today, and I share it with the people that want to learn with me, that in fact, see your whole being as a wholeness of energy. And in this totality being of energy, we have mental energy, as well as physical energy, as well as spiritual energy, and even another layer of energy that we call maybe psychic energy. It's about another meeting. Basically, what helps you is to recognize that in this wholeness that you call your own being, most of the energy goes to the mental energy. But the mental energy satisfies yourself through understanding, but does not bring you to the true experience of the being. Because understanding is not a feeling, it's a mental exercise. And the experience of your being goes beyond a thought. In other words, the answer to the question, who am I? It's not a good idea. You want more than just that. You don't want also someone else to tell you what is the answer. In fact, you want your personal experience. And there comes this very simple, and in my experience of having practiced and continue to practice, the more you drain the energy, mental, into the physical, the more you arrive to a state in which watching, in which silence is not an effort. It's a gift. It's a blissful gift. You don't provoke silence. You become available to silence. And silence is the atmosphere, the terrain, where then watching becomes available, becomes more comfortable, more easier. Not always, but is probably the best environment. Now, if we go back to the times of Gautama the Buddha, 2,500 years ago or more, you know, it's easy to understand that those days, the amount of data available to those beings that were like you and me, simple human beings, but they had to deal with the same mind, the same mental energy, the same identifications, the same traumas, the same, belief systems. Their life quality made it much more available to spaces of tranquility, probably, silence, I say again, probably, and in other words, less input, less stimulus from the environment around. And I say again, probably. Therefore, those days, it feels quite obvious that just to sit and watch your thoughts, separate your thoughts, coming to that understanding that the watcher is not the watched. The one that watches is not the subject of the watching. The disidentification of the mental process was probably more accessible. Today, just to give you a few moments of silence, how many times in the middle of the day, you just simply watch. Stop. Go back to your breath. There is a collective anxiety, an angst, a race towards nowhere, as if everybody's running to the nearest cliff and nobody is ready to jump. Then it makes it probably more understandable to you the techniques that use your most accessible energy, our physical energy. Our physical energy can, for many people, be the easiest vehicle to then come to that place inside of you where you don't fight for silence, you don't provoke silence, you don't expect that it should be silent, but rather silence comes to you. Now, I'm going to take one step further for your understanding. We already know this. We already know this in our deep unconscious through the simple fact of our sexuality. Every human being is orgasmic. What is orgasm? Movement, breathing, and sound. And what you get out of this, besides all the physical blissful moments, and I'm not going to go into the subject of sexuality right now, just as an example that this experience is a collective human experience. We know that silent space that is not provoked, but it is a consequence of a physical, total involvement in being yourself. There, then you just are showered with silence. Coming back to the question, what is meditation? If you write meditation with a capital M, I call it a quality. Or the silence that I was talking about just a few moments ago when I used orgasm as a point of reference so that we could understand what I'm talking about. Moving onwards, you're probably looking for techniques. That is the first step. I say the first step is ask yourself, why do I want meditation? Without answering that question, Your journey may be more difficult. Where is your motivation? Once you connect with an answer to that question, then you have a motivation. And in the motivation, your search starts knocking at different doors, reading books, inquiring in the net, and then feeling attracted to different ways that so many masters, so many teachers will eventually guide you. I continue to feel that totality gives you total results. And totality is not a performance. Totality is not a show. You're not preparing yourself for the Olympic Games of meditation. Totality is love to yourself. And only you really feel when you are total. Today, this total, next day, this total, may be always different, but always with that self-appreciation, with that self-love that only totality brings to you. And finally, what does meditation bring to you? Why so many people are today attracted to meditation? Well, to me, the consequence of meditation is that it made me whole. No more split being, no duality. What I call, I live in truth. Also, you may understand it better, I live without fear of being myself.